Hello everybody, we are playing a mill deck. So welcome to Tpull's Corner. This is Travis and we want to use Errant Street Artist. We don't mind that she's here right now, but we don't really need her right this second. Well, if we have 3 impulses, we might as well use them. Those are our win conditions. They're too expensive to take now. And hopefully we don't have trouble getting land later. We were tapped out and they did nothing. I could put down the Sentinel now, but if they get a 3rd land and play a creature, it'll be better for us to counter that. That is unfortunate. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the Sentinel and use all of our mana. And we gave them something they can cast now for an Unearth. Great. Brothers of War cards, and we milled them for 2 lands, which they probably didn't need, so we did them a favor. As always, mill decks work for other people and not for me. Here comes the dog. We're done. That's our turn. They've got 8 cards. They should try and do something. They do, and they fail. Woohoo! We're just glad that we made good on 2 of our essence scatters, really. And we actually aren't getting land now. Okay. Let's go ahead and see. We don't need a 3rd Errant Street Artist, that's for sure. So our choices were another Street Artist or land, land, land. Okay, let's go ahead and cast another one of those without paying the mana cost. And we'll go get another Sentinel. Let's go get an Essence Scatter. Oh, they destroy our enchantment. How about that? And we make good on our 3rd one, so good choice, good choice. Do I want to put one of those down now? No. Not just yet. Counterspell. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put one of these down now. And we'll be done. Four counters, 4 creatures. I feel lucky. Okay, now we have enough to do what we want to do. But we kind of want to give them a chance to get something down for a change. Something like that. And like that. Scrapwork is fine. I'm kind of glad they'll use that now. And a flyer. Okay. They got a lot of cheap spells they've been holding on to this entire time. Okay, so we'll kill the guy that... Whoops, hang on. Didn't want to do that. Pass. block you, and block you. Yeah. Then we bring down our second street artist. You don't get to stay, do you? You get exiled. Why would you put the counter on that one? That's weird. Anyway, now we use Consuming Tide. We keep the street artist. Everything else goes back up. And we get to draw a card. Then we get to play our card and put down Rado Sentinel again and mill them for 3. He's just going to recast all of his stuff. And what do I do? 33. Well, let's see what we got. Ooh, Silver Scrutiny. I'll take that. Alright, and we're done. Do I want to deal with the flyer? Yeah, I guess. That's what we don't want to deal with. I don't need you to increase your army size by 33%. Okay, so how many is that? 6? Let's go get 6 cards. Perfect. Also perfect. They can't attack this turn. And they're all tokens. And because you cast that spell, you're not pumping yours up and doubling your strength. One damage at a time is going to be a problem. Okay, so, Consuming Tide again. We keep the street artist. You guys lose all your stuff. Sentinel comes down again, mill for 3. And 2 of it was land, but oh well. And then we do this to your flyer, so we don't have to worry about your flyer anymore, because guess what? I don't have any more Consuming Tides, so that trick is done. And we managed to burn through all of our mana. Alright, for our next trick, we stall. I'm assuming they're going to deny that because they already have 7 cards in their hand. If they have extra... Oh, hello. They're going to pay the ward cost? What do I want to do? Let's see. Let's return some cards. What do we want? We like Silver Scrutiny, and we like Consuming Tide, which I thought we were done with. Sweet. What do we want to do? 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take action. You want to block him? You gonna let it through? Well, you could have killed him. I'm just gonna do this and bring everybody back up, I think. Except for street artists, of course. Alright, and then we bring... Oh, we can't. He's too expensive now. What can we do? 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's go ahead and put this on him. Excellent. Lost a couple of founding in the third pass, but that's okay. He's down to 24. We're looking good. You want to hit me for negative 24 points of damage? That'd be fun. He's going to redo his entire army. He is going to fly over and hit me for nothing. Okay. Alright, here we go again. Mill you for 3. You got 20 cards, now you got 10. And we're done. I'll keep the Disdainful Stroke open in case he has a surprisingly powerful card in here. Like maybe another Captain's Call. Although most things seem pretty small. Seems like a weenie deck all the way through, doesn't it? Ah, there's the biggest one. Gotcha. How many cards do I have left? 15? Sweet. Oh man, hang on. Do I have... Did I lose all of my Errant Street Artists before this? One? Only the one, right? Okay, so we'll lose that one. Next. Nine? It's a lot of cards. That does give me a street artist, though. Discard 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4. Oh man, I was trying to demonstrate how Errant Street Artists work, but they keep making me kill it. Okay, you put down enough of your white weenies for your army. We're through messing around with you then. How many cards do we have left? We have 4 cards left? Well, we should probably kill you at this point. Alright. Casualty. Target you. 7 cards. We make a copy. We get to do it twice. 2, 3, 4 left. 1, 2. And then we say good game. And we mill you for 4 more. And we had a couple of extra Rito Sentinels too. And we had enough mana to put one down. So we milled them with room to spare. I was trying to take my time and set it up to demonstrate the artist, but maybe we'll have one more chance as we do another round. First, we're going to go in and show you the deck. Remember to like and subscribe. Subscribing doesn't hurt, it just shows you when Tpull's Corner has a new video out. And you can ignore it if you want to. Just come watch the ones that you're interested in. We've got a couple hundred to choose from by now. Okay, so what this is growing out of is I did the Shrine series, where we did monocolor shrines. So we did a ancient, not ancient, let me go search for the shrines real quick. Just so we can use the right one. I want to make sure I get my terminology right. There we go. Go Shintai of Lost Wisdom with Mirror Box. And we did a good mill deck. And I always had this idea that I wanted to combine Errant Street Artist with Cut Your Losses and with Vesuvian Diplomacy. But Vesuvian Diplomacy, it wasn't really working with Cut Your Losses. So, Vesuv? There we go. Vesuvian Duplomancy. That's what I meant to say. So, Cut Your Losses and Vesuvian Duplomancy, I couldn't get to work together. So I split up the concepts instead of mashing them up. I've got two separate decks now. One will still have Errant Street Artist and the Duplomancy in it, but this one I just decided to make a pure mill deck. So you kind of saw how it worked already. We've got 4 copies of Cut Your Losses. We've got one big creature that may help us out with Carry the Swirling Sky. And depending on what we need, you can return any number of target non-land permanents with total mana value of 6 or less to their owner's hands. So maybe we want to remove a lot of those 1/1 tokens and remove them permanently from the game. Or maybe we want to mill our own cards and get 2 instant or sorcery cards, like when we got the Consuming Tide back. Since we do come up against a lot of aggro, I've got 2 copies of Consuming Tide, so when they get too many tokens down, or just like 6 or 10 creatures, then we can just return everything up to our hands and make them start over again. So that's a good stall tactic to gain us tempo. We've got the 4 Rito Sentinels that I love. You mill them for 3 at a time. And if they have something they can bring from the graveyard, we could spend mana and make sure that they can't cast it because we throw it on the bottom of their library. So the new Unearth cards from Brothers of War, if I'm paying attention and have 3 mana free, I'll put those back at the bottom of their deck. That's what that's for. I also have 1 Honored Heirloom as a mana dork to get me an extra mana when I need it. And this is my other way to deal with target cards in graveyards, to exile them. I just need to have enough free mana to use it. A lot of the rest is counterspells to get me ready for the mill. I got 1 copy of Urza's Rebuff. So it gives you an option. You can counter target spell or you can tap 2 target creatures. So whatever you need the most. So far I've just used it to counter target spell, I think. We've got 1 copy of Disdainful Stroke, which is good and handy. 4 copies of Essence Scanner to counter target creatures. 3 Fear of Deaths for when they get them on the board. We can mill a couple cards out of our deck, and then they get -X to the power, where X is the total number of cards in our graveyard, which is only going to increase as long as they don't exile our graveyard at some point. We've got 1 Consider to surveil 1 and draw a card. That's kind of my one way to dig through the deck, if you will, besides the 4 copies of Impulse, where we can look at 4 cards and choose 1. More counterspells, 1 Wash Away. In case they have something that can be cast from. I think this works on Unearth, but I haven't tested it yet, so hopefully we'll have a chance to test that. But I want to say that this should work on Unearth as well. Let's see, I just haven't had personal experience doing it. What else? Okay, so founding the 3rd path. A lot of times we skip step 1 and we just use the step 2 to mill them for 4 cards, but part of the strategy is if we can get the pacing and timing correct, and I've got 6 mana out, we can mill them for 4 cards, and then we can use the next turn, we can exile something in our graveyard, which might be one of these Cut Your Losses. So if we have, say, used one of your Cut Your Losses, and we don't have any more available, we can use Founding the 3rd Path to dig into one we've already used in our graveyard. So we might have a chance to cast this more than 4 times if we're lucky in a game, if we need to. Possibly. And then we have 1 Academy Lore Master. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player may draw an additional card. It's kind of good for me for card draw sometimes. Sometimes I've got enough mana out where I can afford the extra card draw and I can afford to cast the spells. Sometimes I know I'm not going to cast any spells that turn, so I'll just take the card draw because all I've got is counter spells. And then it's their turn, whatever they do, I'm just going to counter spell. And then I have one copy of Silver Scrutiny, which if I have a lot of mana, I can draw through my deck quite a bit, which you just saw in the first match. Okay, so the only other thing to discuss, because we don't have a lot of mill, right? We've got 4 mill cards there, we've got 4 with the Sentinel, and we got 4 with Founding Path. That's not necessarily a lot. So as our ace in the hole, we have Errant Street Artist. Here, Flash, Defender, and Haste. You can spend 2, which means if you've got enough mana, you can bring her down from your hand that turn and use her to copy a target spell you control that wasn't cast. How do we do that? Some people have found this confusing. The way we do it is Cut Your Losses has Casualty 2. If we sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater, we can copy the spell. So we usually kill our Rado Sentinel. And then we have the first copy that goes off, or the first spell that goes off, and then we have the copy. Okay, Errant Street Artist can copy the copy. Got it? We have to only copy a spell that wasn't cast. Well, we cast the first copy of Cut Your Losses, but the copy that comes out of the Casualty mechanic is a copy spell. It's not one that was considered cast from our hand. So that's open season for Errant to copy. So we're actually copying a copy. And that means we can take Cut Your Losses, and if we have enough mana, we need 6 for that, and 2 for that, 3 in case we're bringing it down from the hand, so maybe 9 mana. But we need a Cut Your Losses, we need a Sentinel, and we need a Street Artist and 9 mana, and we can cast this 3 times. So if they're at 20, they'll go down to 10, and then down to 5, and then down to 3. And then we just need something like another Rado Sentinel or Founding the Third Path to mill them out for their final cards the next turn. So it can happen, and we showed you the first win. But that's the deck overall. We've got some copies of Field of Runes to force a shuffle on our case. If they have special lands, we can destroy their special lands. So we're going to try again and see how it goes. I don't think that this is as effective on a constant basis. I don't think it's a consistent win as much as the Rogues deck, you know, if people were around and remember the infamous Rogues. But kind of why I was interested in doing this is because we lost a lot of cards, right? We lost the Land Crab. We lost Tasha's Hideous Laughter from Forgotten Realms. We lost Maddening Cacophony. I think that was from Zendikar, if I remember right. So that's 3 really good mill cards. And there were some other mill cards that we lost in the middle of all that, too. Keeping the mana dry to hold up Essence Scatter, in case he's going to cast a creature. So without all that, there's not a whole lot left. You can do one I'm probably going to do next with Xander, if you're willing to do black and red and blue. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We'll keep it. If we don't counter, we'll use Impulse. Impulse it is. We're going to get land. Because we just weren't sure what we were going to get. Still keeping our powder dry to counter a creature spell. We passed up a lot of good spells. Let's see what else is out there. Land? Let's throw the land away. My turn. Still got a land. Alright. I feel okay about that. Remember, we need 9 to do the combo. And we already threw Cut Your Losses down at the bottom of the deck. These guys are just waiting. So, I'm tired of waiting. 5 is enough mana to do stuff. And it is. It's Green-White Selesnya. Which means they have a ton of cheap creatures already. They've just been holding on to them the whole time. The first one we're going to let go. Yeah, you can come on down. Maybe they'll be fooled into thinking we don't have a counterspell. Now see, we do have a counterspell and we'll use it on that one. And he quits. Normally I have a long slog and I lose half of my battles versus this deck. Green-white Selesnya. I guess they didn't like losing their flyer. They didn't like waiting that long and still losing to a counterspell. I fooled them because I let the first 2 mana down. And then I proved I had another one. That was already too much. Some people just don't want to face a counterspell deck. There was a couple months in there where it seemed like it wasn't worth playing counterspells. And I think that Wizards has kind of changed up with things in the rotation enough. You know, people are using Spell Pierce, people are using Make Disappear. So control is a thing again. I'm not sure how big it is in the meta. But if you get it just right, I mean, I've seen a lot of the Jin decks that use the Spell Pierces, and I've gone up against them when they had 3 Spell Pierces in their first 5 cards they played. So if you got them early enough, you really can't wreck somebody. Do we want to do this? Yeah. It's a subtle way to mill them because if they think they can take it, they'll draw an extra card. It may be helpful to them, but it's something they're not used to, so they took the extra card, right? So they can't afford to cast anything. They cast it during my turn, which is fine. If this is a burn deck, we might be in trouble. That's fine. We'll play our land. We got part of the combo. And now these guys think again, and if they want to draw, they want to draw again. Play land. Can they afford to cast anything? They can. It costs them all their mana to cast a 1 mana spell, but they still managed to do damage to us. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We will take action. We will play our land. We will attack. Probably shouldn't, but we did. And we're done. Your choice again. Now, mono red usually starts off pretty cheap, so they're actually going to cast a spell, or try to cast a spell this turn, instead of taking the draw, right? Simian Sling. Yeah. Kind of feel bad having to counter such a cheap spell, but we'll also throw that out there while we can do it cheaply. And we're not going to cast anything again this turn. Actually, we don't have a counterspell, right? So let's just cast this too. We give up some information because we let them know that they don't have to worry about a counterspell, but it got us out of the Curse of Shaken Faith. And there really was nothing else that we could have done here. Bloodthirsty Adversary. You gonna hit me in the face with Play with Fire again? Yep. Still managing to hurt me. For shame, for shame. I'll probably trade off if they try that. That seems fair. Okay, do we want to draw an additional card? 3... Yeah, sure. Bingo. I wanted that. And now we do... No, we don't. We do nothing. kind of want to see if they're going to try and flood us with cheap creatures all of a sudden. Ouch. Ouch. Death by 1,000 cuts? Say hello to another one. Alright, we want to decline because we want to cast a spell. Yeah, buddy. What are you going to do against Carrie? No, we want to cast some spells. Let's start with the Sentinel. Okay. Next, let's go look for something else. And I guess we're doing that. Other than the first spell, so I'm in trouble. Do I go ahead and hit him? Yeah, I guess I do. I may have a better shot of hitting them over the head before they kill me. I don't have any life gain either. I can't use Consuming Tide anymore. Wow. To do? I guess milling is out, right? So we'll just do this so he doesn't have any way to hurt me. Except for his special ability. We end the turn because we can't take another damage from the curse. Good game. He didn't get anything. We actually just took our mill deck and with our one powerful card, we managed to win and beat red aggro with 1 health point left. I feel kind of lucky. Not gonna lie, feel kind of lucky. Alright, so how do you like the mill deck? We won by hitting our opponent's face. Even with the extra card draw they got from my wizard, they still ran out of ammo too fast. But my deck is kind of based around getting enough mana on the ground that I can cast more than one spell a turn, so that curse really hurts me. It's turn 2. Why did you spend so much time thinking? What are we going to do? We're just going to go do this now. And we're going to go find another impulse. Not the best way, but We didn't have a counterspell. They weren't at 4, so Disdainful Spoke doesn't help. Squee is problematic for us, but we didn't have any way to stop him. There's another spell with flashback. And he already has a second Banishing Slash ready. This could be a really quick death. Put down a creature, I guess. What else we got coming up? Who cares about cut your losses? I guess I just need the land so I can get carry out. Because if they got Banishing Slash, they probably had red damage spells too. Captain's Call. Are you wide enough? No, I need to cast some spells here. Honored Heirloom. And use Honored Heirloom to get rid of Squee. That's all I could do. Consuming Sky would be, or whatever that spell is, would be nice right about now. A Sheevan Devastator. Ouch. Okay, I guess I'll block. Ouch. This is all I got. They got me. That's all they needed. 6 cards. That's not even mono red. That's a red-white aggro. There's kind of luck of the draw involved there because I did not have a counterspell to stop Squee. But you don't always get to start with a counterspell, do you? We do here. So no promises, but let's see what happens. You notice we are facing a lot of aggro, even though we don't really have much in the way of creatures. We've got 3 Street Artists. We've got 4 Sentinels. Essence Scatter. And we got 1 big flying dragon. Let's put down defenders already. I am very glad we got rid of a Halo Fountain. You're very close already to join the dance. Let's see what else we got coming up. I need land. I can't just take cut your losses right away. I guess we'll take Field of Ruin. And do we hold on to that? Yeah, let's hold on to it for a second. They can't cast this yet. Gathering Throng. I can't stop it. And they start to build their army. Do you want to trade? Join the dance. I don't have 3 mana to spend on that. Alright, I guess we have to trade. Having a bunch of 3/1s is gonna be tough for me. Alright. Give it a 1 at least. Citizen's Crowbar. Disgusting. Alright. Fear of Death on you. And we do hold on for the Essence Scatter for the next Gathering Throng. Or whatever they want to put out. We can't counter the Join the Dance. And we've already run out of ammo. How many cards is that we went through? Yep, they went for a more expensive one. Good. That one was going to grow to be a bigger threat than a 3/1 real quick. You notice this particular one isn't surrendering the way the other one did. Now we got the spell taken care of. Alright. Another Fielder Rune. Okay. You know what? Let's just thin out our deck then. Well, getting rid of those is all good. The problem is they already have stuff on the board and stuff in their hand to spare. What are we down to? 35? It's not looking good, sports fans. I'm dead in 2 turns. Okay, Impulse is really the only one we can cast. So, cut your losses or Fear of Death? I guess Fear of Death. I'm not sure anything that we do matters anymore. You know, what's funny is they pay 5 for the flashback, but for Disdainful Strokes purposes, it only looks at the actual casting cost, so we can't use Disdainful Stroke on that one. We can block against 1 point of damage. So now we're still dead in 2 turns. And I get a land. That was not helpful. We can stop them from drawing a land anyway. I need my big dragon at this point. Well, if I die here... What's in my, do I have anything that's good here? sorcery. No, all I have are enchantments. So all I can do is mill them for 4. Well, we got through half their deck. Yeah, so you can see how pretty inconsistent this is. I would do wish I played against something other than these small weenie decks the whole time. That's kind of weird to me. Alright, we're going to go do a bonus round against Sparky just to demonstrate the street artist thing. So if you don't want to see, maybe Sparky will kill me. Maybe we'll get the combo off. Just because Errant Street Artist is, it's a wordy card, and it's out of the usual with the way that it only works on copies of spells, on spells that weren't cast. So it's really helpful to see it in action.
Get ready for some friendly competition.
Thank you, Sparky. I couldn't do this in the regular play. It's really weird, disheartening, you could even say sometimes, that all there is like, oh, it's green-white Selesnya with, you know, little 1-cost and 2-cost creatures. Oh, it's red and white, and it's, you know, maybe Squee costs 3, but everything else is 1 and 2. Or it's a red burn deck where everything's 1 spell. We'll face that so often. I think I like my matches to last longer, but everything's geared right now towards the 1, 2, 3 drops, and that's mostly it seems like. Or at least that's what the computer keeps sending at me when they do the matchups. What happened to Sparky? Did Sparky froze? Sparky had to think. Skaze zombies. Do we care about Skaze zombies? I don't think we do. Okay, we're going to take a cut your losses now. And just see how quickly we can get to this. Probably should have taken the dragon. Dragon would have given me time. Pass. No blocks. I do need land. I'm assuming they have a battle trick. Alright, we'll bite. Nope. My guy comes back up so I can mill you for 3 again. You've already been blocked, so I don't take the damage on that. Okay, now we really just want a bunch of lands. They don't have the battle trick, so they don't attack. Ooh, got rid of a removal, that's good. That's really all we're trying to do. We just want to get to 9. Yep, you can have him. We can let you put him on the ground. Okay, now we have 2 Essence Scatters, so I guess now we'll start countering things. Aha! Alright, we'll do the first one. And then if we don't get cut your losses again, we'll try it using founding the third path instead later, when we have enough mana. Aha! There's one that's worthy of countering. Eight mana, good, almost there. Yeah, go away. I don't want you to get too many that you feel comfortable attacking me. Bingo. Okay. So, we start with milling them for 4. And I was being conservative. We didn't really need 9 because we already have a copy on the ground. But in case they had a removal spell or we had to block, then we would have one to cast. In this case, we get to exile this one. Now this is interesting because we get to copy it. So we're casting a copy already. We're going to cast copy here. We're going to auto pay. We're going to sacrifice a creature to do it. Nobody cares about those. Okay, so we target. Now we have Errant Street Artist, which we can use to copy that. Oh, I wish I had more. I could put that down if I had extra land. I could maybe copy it yet again. We could have copied it multiple times. But anyway, we ended up with what, 4 copies? So it goes from 10 to 5. Oh no, just 3. Okay, there we go down to 3. Now we go down to 2. And so we got 3 copies out of it. And then we just have this one next. And it always works easy against Sparky, right? Okay, but that's how you use the Street Artist. They're gonna use. You killed her. It's okay. I have another one. Take that. I can even cast this. Take that, Sparky. Killing my creature. Here. Pass.
Nice job.
Thank you, Sparky. Alright, so that's how you tap her and copy the copy. And if you have extra mana and multiple copies of the Street Errant Artist, you can throw down the next one and copy it again. So, fun stuff. Let's go back into the deck one last time. Have you take a look. Alright, hopefully I explained that properly. You can always rewind and watch that part again against Sparky to see the example there. But I think we do need to have this as an ace in the holes, last ditch emergency kind of thing. And as you saw, it's not consistent, and it's 50-50 against aggro decks. You really need to have your counter spells show up really early on. You need a little bit of luck with that. Sometimes people just can't do anything against you, and sometimes they'll destroy you by turn 4 or 5. But either way, this does show you that Mill's not completely gone away, and we can always bring out Xander and do a different type of mill strategy as well, or the Screaming Swarms. There are 2 or 3 strategies that are still around. It's just not so easy as it used to be with Maddening Cacophony and Land Crab and Tasha City's Laughter and all that kind of stuff. That stuff is gone right now, so mill is on the decline. It has ebbed for a while. I don't think the millstones from Brothers War count, right? Because we can't use those. Those are throwbacks that you could use in Historic, but those artifacts that you get that you open up the old artifacts, they're special cards, right? You can't use them in Modern Standard right now. So we didn't get millstones back to use, I don't think, with Brothers War. Not in the current meta environment. But we'll leave it there. Remember to like and subscribe. thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Have a good one.